A young black woman asked, "Sir, can I sell you some candy?" The millionaire replied, "You're going to live with me." No one on that rainy September evening could have guessed that this simple exchange would ignite the downfall of one of the most powerful families in Beverly Hills. The storm had turned the elegant streets into rivers of mud. At the iron gates of a mansion, Amara Lewis, a 26-year-old mother, stood clutching a tray of homemade cupcakes. Rain poured down her face, but her posture carried dignity. On the other side was Claudia Harrington, wife of billionaire Edward Harrington. Claudia's voice was shrill with contempt as she pointed a manicured finger. "Get out before I call security. People like you don't belong in this neighborhood." Amara's voice, however, was calm. She simply said, "Ma'am, I only want to sell these cupcakes to buy medicine for my daughter." Claudia laughed cruelly, raising her phone as if to record. "I'll film this and share it with every neighbor. No one will ever buy from you again." Amara remained silent, but deep inside, she knew this moment would be remembered. She was not just a desperate woman selling candy. She was a trained nurse, a hidden investigator, and the Harrington family's worst nightmare. From the second-floor window, Edward Harrington had been watching everything. He saw his wife humiliating a stranger in the rain. Something inside him stirred, not compassion, but curiosity. Moments later, Edward came downstairs. His tone was softer than Claudia's. "I'm sorry for my wife's behavior. Please, come inside. Let's handle this civilly." Amara stepped into the marble hall, drenched but composed. She knew she wasn't entering a safe home. She was entering the lion's den. Edward offered her a towel. "My wife can be intense when it comes to our privacy." Amara smiled faintly. "She's right about one thing. People like me don't belong in a place like this." Claudia stormed into the room again, clutching her phone. "Edward, what is this woman doing here? She doesn't need sympathy. She's lying. I bet she doesn't even have a child." Without hesitation, Amara reached into her pocket and pulled out a crumpled photo of Leela, her 8-year-old daughter. "This is Leela. She has leukemia. Her treatment costs $5,000 a month." Claudia scoffed. "How convenient. A sick child's photo, just when she needs pity." But Edward's eyes lingered on the photo. For a moment, a flicker of unease crossed his face. "What work did you do before selling cupcakes?" he asked. Amara replied steadily, "I was a nurse at Metropolitan Hospital." The silence that followed was heavy. Edward recognized the name. Metropolitan was one of the very hospitals tied to his private investments and secret fraud. Then Amara pulled out a sealed plastic envelope. "Your secretary Helen was very helpful. She gave me 47 contracts signed by you." Edward's color drained. "That's impossible." Amara's phone buzzed. She answered casually, "Hi, Marcus. Yes, I'm at his house now. He doesn't know about the other documents yet." "All right, see you in 20 minutes. Edward panicked. "What do you want? Money? How much?" Amara laughed softly. "Your first instinct is to bribe a federal witness. Marcus will enjoy hearing that." Thunder rumbled outside as headlights flashed across the mansion gates. 3 black SUVs rolled into the driveway. Within minutes, Marcus Green, a federal prosecutor, entered with 3 agents. He flashed his badge. "Edward Harrington, you're under arrest for medical fraud and manslaughter." Claudia gasped. "Manslaughter? Edward, what are they talking about?" Edward's bravado cracked. His empire, built on hidden debts and stolen money, was about to collapse. The agents laid documents across the table. Photos of sick children, denied treatment, stared back. Amara's voice cut through the silence. "These are 17 children who died last year, all approved for treatment, then suddenly denied, because it was cheaper for your company if they died." Claudia picked up one trembling photo, a smiling little girl in a hospital bed. "Edward, tell me this isn't real." Edward muttered, "You don't understand how the system works. If hospitals lose money, no one gets help. Don't twist it, Amara interrupted sharply. You denied children medicine for profit. Then she revealed one final card. An audio recording from a board meeting. Edward's voice was unmistakable. Patient, Emily Green, age 6. Treatment cost, $200,000. Insurance payout on death, $300,000. Deny treatment. Claudia covered her mouth in horror. Edward collapsed back in his chair. One agent snapped handcuffs onto Edward's wrists. Edward Harrington, you are under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, and 143 counts of preventable deaths. As they dragged him away, Edward shouted desperately, You don't know who you're messing with. My lawyers will crush you. Amara calmly replied, Your lawyers, they've already been arrested. This was a simultaneous operation. Outside, reporters swarmed as cameras captured the billionaire shoved into a federal car. 6 months later, Edward Harrington was sentenced to 25 years in prison with no parole. His empire was dissolved, assets seized, and his Beverly Hills mansion was converted into a free health center. Claudia, once the queen of luxury, now lived in a small apartment, working at a veterinary clinic, the only job she could find after her name became synonymous with fraud. Meanwhile, Amara Lewis, the woman once humiliated at their gate, was promoted to director of the Federal Medical Fraud Investigation Department. Her daughter Lila, now in remission, laughed and played at school thanks to the very treatments Edward had denied other children. As Amara looked at her daughter's photo on her desk, she whispered, The sweetest revenge isn't destroying your enemies. It's using their arrogance to build the perfect trap. The world remembered Edward Harrington as a monster, but they remembered Amara as something greater. Proof that intelligence, patience, and courage could bring even the most powerful to their knees. And if this story has inspired you never to give up on justice, remember to subscribe. Because sometimes, patience is the sharpest weapon against those who believe money makes them untouchable.